Live from Western New York, this is Self-Advocacy in Action. Today's special guest is from Outreach Self-Advocacy, Anthony Stevens. And now, here are Santa's helpers, Gwen, Squire, and Engelic, Everett.
Hello everybody and welcome to our show.
Hello everyone.
I'm your host, Gwen, Squire.
And I'm Engelic, Everett.
And this is our guest, Anthony Stevens. Hi Anthony, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Before we show your video, which we're going to do in a few minutes, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Anthony Stevens. I'm 43 years old, native of Buffalo, New York. Just love life, enjoy doing the things I do here in the city of Buffalo, advocating for people with disabilities and being a strong advocate in our city.
Awesome. What do you do?
What do I do? Well,
Yes.
What do I do is I usually go out to different events that are happening in the community, and I get to know the people in the community by asking questions and seeing what their concerns are. There's many people with a whole lot of concerns, so I'm there to lend a hand as much as I can to help them understand their full potential and let them know that I'm here to support them.
And you like to do that, don't you?
Yes, I
can
love
tell from the
doing
way
it.
you're talking. Yeah.
Yes.
Angelique, do you have any questions for him?
Well, it's really good that you're saying that because I am a person with a disability, and I always tell, that we are unique in every way. So how did you get involved by working with advocating with people with disabilities?
Well, as an individual myself with a disability, I see the opportunities, Angelique, for people who have them, even through employment, regular life. Everybody needs someone to help them, regardless if they do have a disability or not. Every individual is important. So it's my job to make sure I meet the needs of those people who can't speak for themselves. So I got involved and I said to myself, what do I want to do? What is my passion? What's my goal? And one of my goals is to help as many people I can who suffer with disabilities and maybe going through life issues that they really need help.
So are you a minister, would you say?
Yes.
I did read that, I believe.
Yes,
Oh.
I am a minister in my church.
Okay.
I'm a member of Gospel Temple Church of God in Christ. Ever since I was 6 weeks old, my mom took me there as an iron baby. I became a minister at the age of 19. I love what I do. I love public speaking because it helps me focus on helping other people, maybe through different issues, but also getting out in the public and getting to know different people.
Awesome. We'll check and see if your video is ready, and we'll watch your video, okay?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Here you go. Dribble the ball, dribble the ball. Move the ball down court. Move it down court.
Coach, instructor, mentor. Those are just some of the hats Anthony Stevens, or Mr. Anthony as he is fondly called, wears as a youth development professional at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Buffalo. His drive, ambition, and dedication to his job and the kids he is responsible for makes him one of the most valued employees at the William C. Baird Clubhouse. That fire in his belly is also how he came to be at the clubhouse. After working 11 years at a supermarket, Anthony decided he wanted more. So he quit his position and went job hunting.
I wanted to try something a little different that gave me a little bit more challenge, and I wanted to see the horizon of how to work in a different area than what I usually worked in.
Actually, that week before, he resigned because he didn't want to push carts anymore. So he's like, I'm done with that. I want something different. I want to broaden my horizons when it comes to in the work field. And I'm like, I'm here for you. We could do it.
And he did do it. He attended a job fair where the Boys and Girls Clubs happened to have a table set up. He applied for the position, and the rest is history. His biggest selling points in getting the job were the struggles he had overcome.
And what made him a great candidate is because of the struggles that he had initially filling out, applications, going through the interview process. So he was able to, do some one-on-one and give them, some insight with respect to, the interview process, what to say, what not to say, time management and things like that. So.
What kind of music you like? Hip hop. What kind of music you like? R&B. What kind of music you like? What kind of music you like?
Anthony works with school-age children, developing their social growth and academic achievements. He is also the basketball coach for the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. The Boys and Girls Clubs value Anthony's work ethic, trustworthiness, dependability, and his willingness to go the extra mile to support the needs of the youth under his charge. They have even waived the driver's license requirement for his position so he could remain on the job. Anthony is also being considered for a position with more responsibility.
We're looking, especially for the Boys and Girls Club of Buffalo, to hire more individuals with disabilities because they are committed to their job. They're committed to learn, and they're friendly and outgoing, and they are compassionate about what they do. And that's very important in today's society.
Anthony's growth has reached beyond the Boys and Girls Clubs of Buffalo. He has become a strong community advocate for people with disabilities. In fact, he has his own website and a weekly podcast dedicated to helping people.
There's nothing that anybody with a disability cannot do. It's just that you have to wake up and want it. Just like you wake up this morning and you woke up, you feel happy. That's what people with disabilities need in their life, is to feel happy. To have a support system that is able to help them and develop them and move them to their next level. But my job on my podcast is get Buffalo and their surrounding areas to work together in their communities to help other people with disabilities, not just pass them by. Everybody can dream. You just gotta step.
And Anthony, along with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Buffalo, are definitely taking that step, a giant one, working to enrich the lives of people with developmental disabilities.
Wow, that's a great video.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah. So how do you like working with the kids?
Well, I get a great experience by working with them. They're funny. I enjoy just like coming to work, just seeing my kids. That makes me feel great when I walk into the Boys and Girls Club and I'm able to see the kids that I love working with and helping. A lot of them come back and say, "Thank you, Mr. Anthony, for the life lessons you have given me." And that makes me feel proud as an employee of a great company to come back and just be thanked by children that you're helping.
And according to the video, I see that you are a basketball coach. How long have you been a basketball coach?
Well, I've been a basketball coach for about 2 years. 2 years. I love coaching. I once was a basketball player myself, and I love coaching, and I love working with the kids and teaching them things about basketball.
Sure.
That's cool. We talked about a little bit earlier during our break, before we started, about self-advocacy and all that. What do you want to see happen along the way with the self-advocacy?
What I would like to see that happens with the self-advocacy is more people not being afraid to give their information about their situation. Self-advocacy groups are great because it allows the individual with a disability to be able to open up to other individuals that may not have the same disability, but also open up and get a chance to understand that individual on a different level. You get to make new friends, different things of that nature. With the self-advocacy groups, you are able to go to different events and learn about different things while you're there.
Now, I know we had talked about your book a little bit, but are you going to put, since you're a strong advocate on people with disabilities, are you thinking about putting that into your book as well?
Also, yes, at the end of the book, I want to dedicate my book to the Association of Self-Advocacy Groups. My book is entitled Beyond Relationships. It deals with the culture of relationships when someone dies in your life. Along with the book comes a documentary of my life, the accomplishments of the things that I have accomplished through my life. I am also a musician. Been a musician since the age of 5.
Okay.
That's going to be entitled in my book also.
Okay.
The reason why I wrote this book is because when my dad passed away, it was a very sentimental moment of my life.
I understand.
I needed to get over it. And I thought about writing this book, and with writing the book, it gives me an opportunity to share information with people that may be going through a broken relationship or they have lost a loved one. By reading the actual book will help them overcome the fear of being lonely.
Yeah.
A lot of people are lonely, and sometimes when someone dies, someone leaves them, they become lonely and separated.
Yes.
And so the book would have some way to help individuals cope with understanding that we're not always here forever. We're not here forever,
Right.
but we do have a chance in life to impact as many lives as we can while we're here.
Exactly. What was I going to ask you? I was going to ask you about your personal. You live with your mom, right?
Yes, I do.
And you have a good relationship with her.
Yes, I do. I have a great relationship with my mom. Also, today is my mom's birthday.
There you go.
So happy birthday, Mom, if you're watching me. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I wanted to give you that opportunity. That's why I brought that
Happy
up.
birthday to my mom. It's her birthday. Thank God for her. She is 78 years old.
Wow.
Awesome to live that long. She lived a long, prosperous life. And I love being with my mom. She's like my best friend.
Oh, that's awesome.
So when you have a good relationship with mom, she becomes your best friend.
Yes. I was going to ask you if did you have a question, Angelique?
Oh,
Before I
no,
did?
go ahead,
Okay.
Gwen.
This is our first time hosting together. We're doing good, I think. But I was going to ask you about your drumming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I started at the age of 5.
Okay.
This is going to make you laugh a little bit.
Okay.
So I started getting pots and pans that my mom cooks with.
Oh, I used to do that.
So I started learning how to play. So my mom, my mom and dad at the time, they were like, well, he's going to be something in life. We don't know what he's going to be.
Right.
But I started gathering the pots and pans, start playing on the pots and pans. So my mom got annoyed with it. So she actually my dad went out and bought me a drum set. And from there, I went to grammar school. By the 8th grade, I was already playing professionally.
Okay.
Then when I got to high school, I was there. I played in the school band all 4 years. Was awesome at drumming. Then I took a back seat to drumming, and I became a minister. But I love teaching music to kids. Definitely teaching them how to play. It's one thing about it when a child comes to you and they say, hey, I want to play. Give them an opportunity to play and learn how to hold the sticks and learn the craft of drums. So I do have some great drummers that I really look up to. Some of the old drummers of old age, watched their videos, learned different rudiments, learning different techniques. One of my favorite drummers is my god brother, who is here in Buffalo. Give a shout out to my brother Aaron Blackman. He's an awesome drummer.
Is he? Yeah.
He's an awesome drummer. He taught me a lot of things about drums and how to tune them, how to play them, and that's where my life started with drums.
Okay, cool.
Now, how do you get into the music. You know, I know you said you are a good drummer and everything, you know, but I know, how long have you been in your band, in your music band?
I've been playing drums for now about 35 years. I actually started, like I said, very young. I had the opportunity to play with different, in church, outside of church. So I had a method of playing with different bands and things of that nature, but I learned how to play scale notes. I learned how to read notes. I learned how to play music, because what I have is a God-given gift to hear music and play it the same way it's played.
Wow.
There's not too many musicians I know that has a pitch for music.
Right.
My godbrother has A1 pitch for music. So me and him have something in bond, because we do have a pitch for music.
Yeah.
And we can hear music the same way it's played and actually play it back.
Cool. You said earlier that you wrote a book. Did somebody help you with that book?
Actually, the book is in stage one.
Okay.
We're going through stage one of writing it.
Okay.
Sometimes you get that little writer's block. It takes
Yes.
you a minute to get
Yes, you do.
thoughts together, because some things that happen in your life previous comes back sometime, and
Yes.
it makes you tear up, and it makes you think about the old times that you had with the loved one that you lost.
Right.
So
Exactly.
at the point in my life, I was in writer's block, but we're back to getting the book written. So by February of next year, we will have our title book out,
Awesome.
and we should be ready to let the world see that book.
Now, what inspired you to write?
What inspired me to write is, again, the life of being alone sometime when you lose someone close to you. Sometimes you can't always picture by words. I learned that if you have an issue in life, sometimes it's best to write those issues down and then rehearse it. So what made me want to write was the actual rehearsing of losing a loved one, and going back to the moments you have with someone, that when they're gone, those moments are no longer there. You just have memories.
Yes.
But if you write them down and think about the things you did accomplish, it makes you feel better.
Did that help you to do that?
Yes, it helped me a lot to forget about the things I did with my dad than I wouldn't do at all.
Okay.
Being able in life to be strong. Like a lot of people, when you go through a death of someone that dies, it's hard sometimes to get over
It is.
seeing it.
Yeah.
But as I go through the years, I get stronger. Before I wasn't.
Right.
In the first couple years, I wasn't. Now that I'm very able to sit here and talk to you guys about it, I feel very strong about writing it. Because you could have asked me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to write
Right.
actually how I felt. But now I'm able to pick up a pen and write how I feel and still express the fact that sometimes loneliness is not bad,
Right.
but it's something that we all experience and go through. We're all going to go through losing someone
Yes.
we really care about. And as much as you love them, as much as you want them by you, but
Yeah.
they're only here temporarily. So
Yeah. I get it.
Now, I know you say you are a minister. How long have you been a minister?
I've been a minister now for about 22 years. 22 years, this September marks 22 years that God has really blessed my life, and being able for me to do what I love to do. It is important to share information. And, when you're sharing it with the congregation, or if you're sharing it with people, it's always great to be able to share what you love to do. So that's what I love to do.
When you're up there on the pulpit and everything, what do you talk to people about?
Well, the most thing I do is I talk to people about Jesus.
Okay.
How much God loves us, regardless of what color, what race, what belief we are.
Mm-hmm.
God loves us, no matter who you are, what education level you have in life.
Mm-hmm.
The most important thing that God loves about you is your willingness to accept Him.
Right.
He loves those who accept Him.
Mm-hmm.
And in the pulpit, in the pulpit, it is something I do and I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is talk about Jesus and how much He loves us.
Okay.
So I know I know we mentioned about your podcast. So what is the name of your podcast?
Well, the name of my podcast is Podcast with Anthony.
Cool.
It airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Cool.
We have an awesome podcast. We have about 56,000 viewers that join us every week through social media.
Okay.
They join me through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that they're able to click on to the actual link.
Mm-hmm.
You can click onto that link. You can hear me talk about events that are coming up in my life. You can hear me talk about things that we're trying to do here in the city of Buffalo, again, to advocate for people with disabilities.
Right.
We definitely are on track with advocating with people with disabilities.
Okay.
That's the most important thing.
So that's the most important thing to you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Did you grow up in Buffalo? I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Did you grow up here?
Yes, I did. I grew up in Buffalo, New York. My parents, my dad moved here
Mm-hmm.
in 1957, and my mom was already here, and
Okay.
my mom and then moved to the previous address we are now.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be a Buffalo native
Yeah.
here in Buffalo.
Yeah. Now, have you ever thought of moving out on your own and not living with your
Yes,
mom?
I have.
Yeah.
I have thought about it many different times,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes different things happen that
Right.
I'm not able to do that. So
Right.
there's various things that do come up. So hopefully in the future we'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
Move out.
Now I know since you are into music and stuff, do you do Christian music?
Oh yes, I do Christian music at church. Most Christian music at church. Now that I'm a minister, I don't really get an opportunity to play as much
Okay.
because I'm very devoted to the ministry now.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that it's not something I want to do, but I just don't really
Have
have
the time.
to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll get back to it someday.
Yeah. Getting back to the kids, what is your favorite part about working with them?
My favorite part about working with them is when they come into the clubhouse and tell me how their day was in school.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best part of the day. When I get to sit one-on-one and talk to them, how is your day?
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn in school today? And they tell me the things that they learned in school.
Okay, cool.
Now, what are your dreams?
One of my dreams is to one day own my own business that travels outside of the Buffalo, New York,
Mm-hmm.
to advocate around the world for people with disabilities.
That's an
Not-
awesome dream.
Not only just here,
Mhm.
but in other countries.
Ooh.
There are people who have this same situation that needs advocates for.
Yes.
So that's one of my dreams, to advocate across the United States and even in other countries.
I like that dream.
I do too.
Yeah, it's awesome. Are you taking steps to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are taking very important steps to do that. The one step we do take is the podcast.
Right.
We want our words, we just don't want to be a person that's just talking.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to do the action.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people that talk with no action.
Tell me about it.
And I want to be the person that talks with action,
Right.
not just words.
Mm-hmm.
And you are right about that, because that's mainly what we want to do with our podcast. And like I had told you before, like you said, you have to take action. And I'm actually really a part of God. God gave us a purpose in life to do what we want to do. And you are an advocate. I am an advocate too, So the question is, I know that you are really with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Do the kids really? I know the kids really look up to you. Do you consider yourself a role model for the kids?
I consider myself a positive role model for all age groups. The most important thing is to guide children into the future. You must become available to them. You must have a relationship with them. When I go to my clubhouse, even if it's from the ages of 7 to 18, I am a positive role model for them to let them know that even if you have a disability or not, you're still somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I say all the time to every young person, to anyone that has a disability, do not allow it to become your crutch. Your dream and your vision and your goal is more important than the person who does not have one. Because everyone can be stronger together and work together.
Okay. We only have a couple minutes left, so is there any message you want to give that you haven't given yet? Anything you want to say?
And at this point, I want to say to everybody who's watching, again, don't allow your disability to be your crutch. You can dream outside of the box. As I said in my video, everybody can dream. All it takes is one step.
I like that very much. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And thank you, Engelic, for hosting with me today.
Thank
It's been
you.
great. We've got to do this again.
Yes, we do.
It was very nice to do this. That's about all the time we have. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Gwen Squire, your host.
This is Eric Bazant speaking for Self-Advocacy in Action, a Santa's Western production. To see more episodes of Self-Advocacy in Action, find us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or go to www.saneaction.com. That's www.sainaction.com.